Response engines bounded, release. The UK business evolving a revolutionist space motor, has announced investment of both of Boeing and Rolls-Royce. Release, relying at Culham in Oxfordshire, is work on a traction framework house Portion jet motor, Portion missile motor. The business believes it will convert the area start marketplace and porter in hypersound journey about the land. The new investment sum £2. Turned on in the sum are contributions of Baillie Gifford Property Control and Woodford Invest Control. It opened the full equity grown in the history 3-year to on £100 metre. The UK by the government has already put in £60 metre. B system initially injected £20 metre in 2015 and has nested new cash in the newest finance circle. Rollers-Royce and Boeing, these are very big names, and he's fabulous to be in the stance, told REL CEO Mark Thomas. REL is evolving which it telephone call the sword motor. The force factory is intended to shove a car of a permanent begin all the way to orbital in a solitary move. It would job love a usual jet motor up to on stroke 5.5 times the rate of audio, up later transition to a missile regime for the otherwise of the climb. Key technologies involve a small before cooler warmth exchanger how can get an inbound air stream of above 1000 C and cold it to 150 C in less than rather than 1/100 th of a other. The would allow sword to use oxygen supply straight of the ambience for burning instead of transport it in a pot in the way fine how implies. Though sword is normally talked on in the background of an orbital space plane, it could as well be adjusted to a car how flies at really top rate of spot to spot on the land's shallow. The is an annex how obviously interests Boeing, whose invest hand, Horizon X Ventures, is drive the necktie up in which is its at first invest in a UK-based business. As response engines unlocks progressive traction how could changing the next of air and area journey, we wait to leverage their revolutionist technique to supporting Boeing's chase of hypersound flying, told Horizon X Defect CEO, Steve Nordland. Such who include accompanied the REL history above the year will be aware how Rollers-Royce is not very a guest to the draft. The aviation engine gigantic was implicated in Sword's predecessor year, a spaceplane conception behind in the 1980s named as Hotal. While how hit engineering difficult situation, Rollers-Royce let its concern go, as did UK Space. Both of are now behind, the last in its present kind as B system. We are impressed to be a strategy depositor in response engines bounded, and pioneering UK business how is help shove the boundaries of aircraft technique, Rollers CTO Genderstein told in a declaration. We see Stryker to work in REL and helping in the growth of their technique, and we schedule to include the technique in our own next means. REL is coming essential demonstrate main stages. In Colorado the summer, it will start future test of the before cooler technique, opposing it in facility how imitate the really hot air streams found while vehicles go at hypersound speeds. The will be made by agreement in the U.S. Defense Progressive Study Projects Agent, DARPA. As well the summer, REL should get monitoring of its new testing installation in the UK at Westcott in Buckinghamshire. It is there how the business will install a demonstrate in 2020 of the complete sword loop. Arrogant the goes so, REL would later see to put the technique on several type of flying car. The business is expansion quick in more than rather than 160 personnel at its Culham HQ. The new investment will enable it to go on the recruiting. This crew there is eminent. We include several of the largest gifted engineering personnel I've always treated in, a top % of whom are female engineering personnel, and we include a large discipleship program. It feels love we're a nice news history and I wish to hold it how path, told Mark Thomas.